go ahead and call tonight's regular city council meeting to order. And for tonight's invocation, we have Pastor Carlos Campos from the Calvary Baptist Church.
Let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for this day. Thank you so much for the things that you are trying to teach us. Father, thank you for the good days and the bad days, knowing that you are trying to use us. Thank you so much for your son and the sacrifice that he paid, and your constant love and always pursuing us. Father, right now we just want to lift up this meeting to you. Father, I pray that you be with the leaders and protect them, protect their families. Father, you've given them a responsibility to lead in the city, and I pray that we all do it courageously, and that we always seek to you for guidance. I pray that you be with tonight's agenda. Father, help us to put our egos aside, our pride, and Father, just see to it that we do everything that's in our power to lead this city. Father, again, be with us. We love you. We pray all this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Would you join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Here. Tom Burtle. Tony Dorchenez.
Here.
Beverly. Here. Bruce Jones.
Present.
Jim Oliver.
Here.
Mark Voda.
Here.
Earl Walters.
Here.
All right, 7 aldermen present. First one we have is a motion to utilize an omnibus vote for approval of the minutes of the previous meetings listed on tonight's agenda under the title Omnibus Vote Designation. Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Jones. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Tony Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Beverly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. The minutes we'll be approving will be the minutes of the regular meeting held July 5th, 2016. Minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held July 7th, 2016. Minutes of the Personnel Committee meeting held July 7th, 2016. Minutes of the Water and Environmental Committee meeting held July 14th, 2016. And minutes of the Lake Airport Committee meeting held July 14th, 2016. Entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Beverly, a second.
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Rob Beverly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Tony Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, the first thing we have is an ordinance making appropriations to defray expenditures of the city for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2016 and ending April 30th, 2017. I entertain a motion to approve that ordinance. I think you have copies of that, and they have been amended. Yeah. Motion Alderman Bud. I'll get a second. Second, real quick.
Second.
Alderman Everly.
Do you not want the motion to amend it first before you adopt
Okay.
it?
Well,
The Finance Committee?
I thought we can't amend that motion itself to the correct number, but that's fine. Okay, so we want to do the motion out of tonight's Finance
Yes.
Committee to amend it.
I think that by the statute, it's probably the better way to do it.
All right,
Excuse me for interrupting.
all right, so do you want to make that motion out of your meeting tonight?
Yes, to make the changes.
Second.
And what's that new amount? Is that one we
The
should do
amount would be
first?
$71,625,200.
He's done that motion before.
Can I get a second on that motion?
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters? Okay, discussion or comments on that? Roll call.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Tony Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Beverly.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. All right, do we also at the same time do we need a vote motion on the budget itself or not? Coming out of your meeting.
I don't know, do we need,
Should.
Okay, would you like to make a motion to change in the budget? What are you looking at?
We were asking that the minutes that was passed out to you be somewhat amended to conform with the statute that gives you the power to do what you're doing. If I might just read that change.
You might.
I think if you go to your first paragraph where it says the increased amount for the budget is, goes on. I think we're suggesting a change that says that the increased amount of the budget is $875,000, and the amount of the increased appropriation, using the statutory language, is $840,000. $50,000 was already in the appropriations for the line item referred to as airport capital improvements for a total of $890,000. I think that'll conform to statute, and that would be the motion to do that.
Can I make that motion? Okay, can I get a second on that motion?
Second, Your Honor.
Second, Alderman Walters. Discussion or comment on that motion? Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
That motion passes 7-0. Okay, we good to go there for
Now
now?
good to go to your appropriations.
All right, so now we have an ordinance approving, making the appropriation to defray the expenditures of the city for the fiscal year commencing May 1st, 2016 and ending April 30th, 2017. Entertain a motion to approve that ordinance.
So,
All right, and a second? Alderman Voda. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
That motion passes 7-0. All right, we have a motion to waive the bidding process and purchase of a Vizio-controlled cardiac monitor from Vizio Control for the fire department at a cost of $25,820.88.
So moved.
Second.
Alderman Jones, second by Alderman Heatherly. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. And we have a motion to purchase a three-point post hole digger for $1,465 from Sloan Implement with the funds coming from the general fund, and of course this will be via the budget of the cemetery.
Make that motion, Your Honor.
Voda, can I get a second?
I'll second that.
Alderman Walters, go ahead, Alderman Voda.
There was a pretty good discussion at the committee regarding whether to use the perpetual care interest or take this out of general funds. And of course, what I was saying that evening was, I would like to see some clarification exactly what we can and cannot use the perpetual care interest for. Mr. Dorchin has brought up a good point, stating that the perpetual care interest is designed to be utilized if and when we run out of the sales of the plots for the cemetery to help maintain the cemetery in future years. If we continue to use those funds to purchase equipment and such, then eventually we're not going to have the monies available to maintain that cemetery at the time that we'll need those. So I would like to have some directives put down that would be available to the board as to when those funds could be used, as opposed to just using them because they're available. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Brings to city attorney updates.
Gentlemen, if I might, I'd like to first talk about first motion under your committee reports, your next one there. You asked me to review a lease purchase agreement to acquire some digital radio system equipment for the police and the fire department. I did look at a blank form, that was all that was available to look at, lease purchase agreement. I think our committee were thinking about a 3.4% interest rate, that they insisted that be tax exempt to them, meaning that the income that they receive off that, the interest on that, is not taxable from the income tax laws to them. And then they wanted an opinion from myself that they could do that. Well, I'm not bond counsel, but I was looking at that. So I asked the police chief to see if we can't get an actual document that's filled in with all the numbers so we can look at and see how that fits in with the blank form. What we received last Friday was a straight purchase agreement, not a lease purchase. And the police chief didn't understand why we got that instead of what you guys thought was presented at committee level, a lease purchase over a 5-year period with certain things. I then sent an email to all of you and asked the city treasurer just to check what the local rates might be. And she's done that, and she reported to me today that two banks, one bank will do it for 2.25% for 5 years with semi-annual payments. Another bank here in town will do it for 1.55% over a 5-year period. So I'm suggesting you might want to take this back to committee, take a good look at it, and it's less interest, we'll have to mess with all these long-winded agreements and just borrow the money and you pay for it outright and pay the bank over a 5-year time on those rates. Something to think about. Any questions about that?
One question. Would both banks let us do a semi-annual?
Yes. As according to Jackie's notes to me, one bank was 2.25% for 5 years with semi-annual payments, and the other rate was 1.55%, 5 years with semi-annual payments.
Thank you.
And it was one of your local banks, both of the local banks here.
Very good. Did they say how long those rates would be held for?
No, they did not.
Yes, sir.
Can we tonight, that's the first motion to come out of emergency services, could we amend this motion that was in there and do that to do the financing through the local bank instead of the purchase agreement? I mean, purchase with the option to finance locally? So that it doesn't have to go back to committee?
Well, I think with the preface clause that's in the beginning of the amendments here, it allows these subject matters to be amended or amended, so I think that would be an appropriate motion to make an amendment to move forward with it. I don't know, the police chief is, I think, on vacation now for a couple of weeks, so I don't know, he's kind of, I think, been the contact person with, what's it called, government capital and the folks that were gonna sell you the stuff, if that's gonna change their price, I don't know. Is the fire chief behind it? Does he know anything about it?
I don't think I would sure be interested to see if there's a fixed rate or adjustable rate though. We can hold tight, but if it balloons out, I mean, I can't imagine it would, but if we don't know if it's a fixed rate or an adjustable rate, I'd rather have that information to wait on.
I can only say with, Jackie, did you have personal contact with them, or they just send you emails?
No, I haven't contacted
Okay. I mean, I would think if they said 5 years, it'd be a fixed rate. Did they say anything about adjustable rate?
them. They did not mention anything
Okay.
at all. Everything else that we've asked for loans for has been a fixed rate.
Okay. Well, I think maybe your motion might be is to, proceed with the purchase of this equipment through an outright purchase through the lowest, bank was People's Bank, okay? And it's 1.55% here. People's Bank is paying it, locally with Kent Harbor. And all he was wanting was some kind of letter from my office stating that the loan was an obligation to see it there, but which it would be, of course. So, assuming that that's a fixed rate, semi-annual for 5 years, and assuming that the digital people will sell to you for the same price and not go through this government capital, I don't know what kind of relationship they have, your motion would be to go ahead and proceed with that paperwork. You'll have to come back at your next meeting with an ordinance to legally, dot the i's and cross the t's, allow you to make that purchase and that financing. The bank's gonna want that. Is that your direction, to have the city treasurer to follow up with that? And have the input to pay for it?
Yes, what you just said, I mean, I think that's a very good point. They may not offer, they may not honor that.
That's what I'm
solid
saying, I don't know.
And so how can we make a motion if we don't have the answer to that?
No, you don't.
Contingent?
Well, she can be contingent.
Subject to.
They have the same numbers.
And your police chief's gone for 2 weeks, but, so I don't know, he's gonna, unless Mike feels comfortable to make.
Well, I think Andy Goodall also.
Oh, Andy, I'm sorry.
Yeah, help us with that, so.
Well, the motion out of emergency services was a cost not to exceed $205,756.
So there's an out right there. That covers.
Okay. What else you got for us?
Well, okay, so, all right. American Tower, you've got an email from me, they finally responded, they basically rewrote the agreement, and I sent back a memo email to them saying, I'll take it up with the city council, but you need to let me know if you'll stay, if the powers that be on your end, will they not sign it the way we wrote it? We need to know that, and I haven't gotten a response to that yet. So I would say let's get a response to that, then take it to your committee, and I don't recommend all those changes they're asking for. The next thing on your University of Illinois contract on your archaeological study, I made some amendments to that at your direction, and it's been sitting with them almost 2 weeks now. And I know I talked to Mr. Spiegel, He was asking whether or not we could have Benton Associates be the contract person. I suggested to him that really doesn't gain us much because they would be construed as our agent. And if they're gonna just sign the contract that we don't like, then we haven't really gained anything. So what Jamie from the engineering firm has done, and I just got an email about 20 minutes to 5, that he's talked to those people and given me a name that I can contact directly and see if we can expedite this thing. Because there's not, the main changes was with number one, that Mr. Walters wanted a not to exceed in there, to use the word shall to do the work properly. And then Dave Spiegel wanted to be sure that the area that was gonna be re-examined was gonna be that same defined spot and doesn't go further. And then they had some clauses that really didn't apply to us, and they had a termination clause of 60 days, which didn't make any sense, because it was a 60-day contract anyway. And then one thing that I was concerned about is that it seemed to read, it could be read, that we were responsible for any negligence that third people on site would have done and harmed somebody. I didn't think that made sense to us. So those are the kind of major things I'll talk to this contact person and let you know. I know we're trying to get this expedited to get moving on. The other thing is that I sent you an email on that I would think should go to the Emergency Services Committee. I think Mike Cruz, I hate to talk you off my back here, but I think he's responded. This Narcon policy, apparently back in September of last year, the legislature adopted a statute that seemed to say it was mandatory that every police department, fire department had to have on hand and be properly trained on this Narcon, which is a device, to simplify it, I think you just stick it up your nose if someone's got to be suspected of a drug overdose to bring them back out of it in a quick way. Mike probably knows I'm saying it all wrong, but that's how I understood it. It's a sticker up the nose type thing. But anyway, we need to have a policy, and it needs to go to the emergency committee, so we take a look at that. The other thing on your Ameren, Pam reported this morning that the gas pipeline easement has finally been signed. The original is in the office, so that's going to be taken care of. Next meeting, you'll be looking at a resolution to approve that, so that the mayor can sign that document. On your Awanico, Kincaid, and Langleyville, actually the Kincaid agreements, I know it's going to come up tonight, you're approving the changes. Mr. Spiegel pointed out, he has the wrong date, when the first water system, I think we sent out the amended notice to the mayor of Kincaid, so that they're on notice now that this is how you view the termination date, things like January or February 1 of 2019, I believe it. So, assuming your motion is passed tonight, I'll send these 3 agreements out to 3 communities and see where we go from there. George Jimenez, myself, and the mayor, and the engineers from Benton Associates had a meeting today with EJ, the water supply company that was referred to, and I think Mr. George Jimenez will be coming up with a report, summary report of what happened and where we go from there with that. And I think we learned some things that differently than what might have been told at the committee level. So we'll go with that. Still have not received your bailment intergovernmental cooperation agreement from IDNR, although they said they would sign it. We just haven't got the project done. You're going to on your OB accounts. I talked to the police chief and he's okay with this. I think I saw it in your police committee. In looking, we keep track of all the payment orders that are entered on OBs, ordinance violation cases. And we try to track those for Pam and for Jackie, so if there's payments that haven't been made pursuant to court order, and right now there are 43 payment orders out there that were the defendants, totaling about $43,000, almost $700 delinquent payments that folks that have already pled guilty or been found guilty under payment order haven't made payments for over 6 months, and that's what we track. We don't get excited until it's over 6 months to make it worth their while. So what we're doing is taking 10 at a time and asking the police chief to see if we can find these folks, bring them back into court, or let the court deal with them under a rule, what we call a rule to show cause, to hold you in contempt. They don't show up, and there's a bench warrant issued, they get arrested, and they can't get out of jail until they pay the fine. If, as we go through that, we find that doesn't become economically feasible, they keep tracking these people, then we're going to refer these over to the collection agency and let them do their thing. So we're just trying to keep on top of it, is what I'm trying to tell you. So you're going to see a lot of activity as we go forward. But that's a pretty good chunk of change that you want to chase, but it sends a wrong message, I think, out into the, I'll call it defendant community, if you don't, make folks pay what they're supposed to pay, so. Is George behind me?
No, he's not.
Okay, well, we're gonna have 3 test cases on your ordinance on abandoned building, you'll be violations. He's done the paperwork, he dropped it off a couple of days ago, and we're gonna file those and see what happens and see if our test cases, so we'll take care of that. Anything else, gentlemen, that you got questions about?
Any other questions for city attorney? All right. We're on the mayor updates. I think I've seen a nice paper, Governor Rauner stopped by Taylorville today, and for a couple of different reasons. He did take a tour of Grain Systems Incorporated, and he was very impressed with the operation out there. He made the promise he would do whatever his administration could do to help them continue to grow and expand. So I think that was a good thing. He also, over there at the county, he signed a bill regarding bath salts. I mean, this is something that they're using now that's causing all kinds of problems in the drugs. It's extremely addictive. The high is supposedly the highest high you can get out there right now, and got a major problem because people are overdosing with that as well, and hitting our kids also. So I know that the sheriff's worked very hard to get some legislation there. Avery Bourne and Andy Menard, both worked on this as well. So that was signed into law here in Taylorville today. That's all I've got. We'll move on to committee reports. Discussions of our motions to approve, adopt, and/or deny, and/or table, and/or amend, and/or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at the committee level. We'll start off with emergency services, and I've asked Alderman Bud to please read those for Alderman Bertle.
The first motion was to allow Police Chief Street and Fire Chief Cruz to enter into a lease to own purchase agreement with Government Capital Corporation to purchase communication equipment and gear not to exceed $205,576. What we'd like to do is make this to purchase the equipment not to exceed $205,756. We're going to purchase it outright
And to secure financing,
through People's Bank
People's Bank is paying it for,
at a rate of 1.55%.
fixed for 5 years with semi-annual payment.
Yes.
And to direct the city attorney to prepare the necessary documents to finalize it.
You got all that, man?
They didn't see your lips move there.
We got a tape, we'll get it right. All right, so we got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next motion was to have EL Pruitt, pay EL Pruitt an amount of not to exceed $1,175 for inspection and parts and labor for the repairs to the sprinkler system. Make that in form of motion.
Just second on that.
Second, Your Honor.
On Walters, and just for clarification, this is at the fire department.
Yes.
Any other questions? Roll call.
Rob Heatherly. Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next motion was to allow Fire Chief Cruz to purchase a suction unit from Bond Tree Medical LLC at a cost not to exceed $649.99. Make that in form of motion.
Second on that. One voted, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next motion was to allow Fire Chief Cruz to purchase 6 tires and tubes for Engine 4 from Larry's Service Center at a cost not to exceed $2,398.72. Make that in form of motion.
Second for the comments, Your Honor.
Walters, do you have any comment?
Gentlemen, that is a bargain price, based upon the size of those tires compared to what it costs for a good set of tires on a car today. That's roughly $400 a tire. That's a good buy.
Any other comments? Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, the next motion was to seek bids for modeling of the dispatch area with bidding requirements. Make that form of motion. Next is just get bids on the
Second.
Pemberley, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
And then the last motion was to allow Police Chief Herb Street to purchase a computer from Computer Techs at a cost not to exceed $1,162.46. Make that in form of motion.
Good second on that?
Second.
Voted, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Moving on to Personnel Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Have a motion to bid and or advertise a heavy equipment operator position in the street department. Authorize a motion and comment.
I'll second that.
Just second on Walters, go ahead with your comment.
I oppose this motion in committee, and I will again tonight. And when these positions come up again, whatever department it is in the future, I'm going to continue to urge my fellow aldermen to consider a temporary hiring freeze for the city. Thank you.
Yeah, Alderman Boda.
To build on that, I also want to take our time when we decide to pursue hiring more people. We've been having some pretty stiff discussions on our finances for the city, with the revenues being down, et cetera. Every time you hire a new employee, it's not just the base cost of a salary. We also have exceptional costs associated with hiring an employee. So therefore, if the need is not a true need for the employee at the time, I will not support it either.
Alderman Walters.
For clarification purposes, this is not a brand new additional employee, this is to replace an employee that is leaving, that has left.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
No.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
No.
Motion passes 5-2.
We have a motion to hire one replacement police officer if the need arises. Offer that as a motion. And the same comment that I had for the prior motion.
I'll second that one also, Your Honor.
Walters, additional discussion or comment? Roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
No.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
No.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 5-2. Moving on to Water Environmental Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. The Water Environmental Committee, the first motion was to approve the latest draft of the intergovernmental agreement. And I direct the city attorney to present it to the village of Mawanico for agreement. I'll make that in the form of a motion and comment.
Get a second on that?
Second.
Alderman Boda, go ahead with your comment.
Purposely, there is not a rate associated with this. What we're asking them is to agree to the contract. They don't have to sign it, in my opinion. And if we get an agreement, then we will calculate the rates and present it to them, and then that's when they would actually sign the document. Does that sound good, Mr. Romano?
Yes, it is. And I'll be referring that document in the Iwanaco situation. They also hired the attorney down in St. Louis that I'm communicating with, but I kept you in the loop on that. So that's where I'll probably send it. I'll have to send it to her first.
Any other questions or comments? Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Okay, the next motion was to approve the latest draft of the intergovernmental cooperation agreement and direct the city attorney to present to the village of Kincaid for agreement. And with the same comment I made in the first one.
Get a second on that?
Second.
Voted, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Oliver.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
So the final motion was to approve the latest draft of the intergovernmental cooperation agreement, direct the city attorney to present it to Blankenville Public Water District for agreement. Make that in the form of motion and comment.
Get a second. Voted, go ahead with your comment.
I want to say that I appreciate all the effort that the city attorney put into putting these three agreements together. Did an excellent job. Thank you, Mr. Romano.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Lake Airport Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have one motion come out of our meeting. There's a motion to allow Superintendent Jackson to seek serious quotes or other budgetary options to obtain a skid steer with planer and forestry head. I'll make that motion with a comment.
Okay, good. Second.
Second, Charlie.
Walters, go to the comment.
Clarification, this is just to seek quotes, and I spoke that I would probably not be in favor at this time. This is a 100,000 plus purchase. Depending on how this would be paid for, would maybe cause me to have a little bit more favor in this purchase. But at this time, we don't have this equipment. Yes, it would be nice to have, but $100,000 when we're looking at these budgetary concerns is pretty tight right now. So just want clarification that this is just a quote for budgetary reasons.
Any other comments? So we shouldn't be spending any money to get quotes, so all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Moving on to Finance Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. First motion was regarding the change to the budget and appropriation orders regarding airport project. I've got one motion with the changes.
Second.
Second, Alderman Voda. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
And the next motion to approve the minutes of the July 18th finance meeting, and you have all of those in front of you. Make that informed motion.
Okay, a second on that.
Second.
Voda, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
Mr. Mayor, can just dot the I across the T, can you go ahead and make the two motions as in those minutes?
Okay.
I know I can't quickly have them combined to do the appropriation orders, but just dot the I across the T.
So we want to do the actual motions.
Yeah.
Okay. The first motion was by Alderman Voda, second by Alderman Jones, to recommend the city council to amend the 2016-2017 budget to include the southwest and north ramp overlay TAZ 4342 project for the airport in the amount of $875,000, which will make the total budget amount fiscal year 2016-2017 $55,894,790. Make that form of motion.
Okay, put a second on that.
Second.
Alderman Emily, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
The next motion was to recommend to the city council to amend the appropriations ordinance to include the southwest and north ramp overlay TAZ 4342 project for the airport, which will make the appropriations amount for 2016-2017 $71,625,200. Make that form of motion.
Second on that.
Second.
Alderman Emily, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. All right, finally, we have a motion to approve and ratify payment of bills in the amount of $379,685.37.
Make that form of motion with comment.
Okay, the second on that.
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters, go ahead, your comments, Alderman Bud.
Electric, $18,647.39. Fuel, $15,386.69. Telephone, $1,272.10. Computer tech, $2,104.81. Big R, Ace, Ron's, Urban, Kroger, and Taylorville Feed. For miscellaneous, $4,598.32. O'Reilly's and Napa for miscellaneous, $1,132.74. Larry's Service Center, $5,278.91. Unique Temporary Help, $4,130.76. Garbage, $1,962. Green and Bradford, $16,417.25. Intertrade Services, chemicals for shoreline and guardrail, $5,750. Max Fire and Safety for coats and pants, $3,934.88. Law Labor Attorney fees, $1,435. Meyer, Austin, and Romano, OB and legal fees, $8,234. KMRM for pollution and commercial liability, $21,011. Taylorville Optimist Club for fireworks, $3,000. Illinois Department of Revenue for fuel sales tax, $1,521. Fire and Police Commission for testing, $3,950. Fire Department, Global Emergency Projects for SCBA repairs, $3,345.12. ATI services for maintenance on equipment, $2,704.56. Street Department, Bug for mosquito spray, messed up, I don't have that on here. And Phil Tullis was $4,223.76. Water Department chemicals, $14,933.59. Midwest Meter for 336 meters and supplies, $44,653.97. EH Locks for a diamond wire guillotine, $12,488.50. Sewer Department, Vanameter Engineering for little digesters, $151,689.28. And Megan Tanner, half of sewer tap refund, $1,650. And then the last one is Airport Filtration Corp of America for maintenance on fuel tanks. And this is, these total for $1,258.03, these total for $356,913.66.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments regarding bills? Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Yes, I'm sorry, wait a minute.
Actually, Larry, the Mugabug was correct at $4,423.76.
Okay, it's that, so it's Tullis that I messed up on.
And those two amounts were $2371.60 at each. There's two for Phil Tullis in those two amounts.
Yes, there was.
All right, roll call.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mike Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0. Okay, per subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06, this portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. Would anyone not like to address the council? Seeing no one, entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So moved, Your Honor.
Walters, second.
Second.
Voda, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Meeting adjourned 7:37 p.m. We'll go ahead and call tonight's city council meeting to order. And for tonight's invocation, we have Pastor Steve Switzer of the Catholic Baptist Church.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight, and first of all, we just want to say thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for the help you've given us, allowing us to be here tonight. Thank you for the things that are going to happen here and for our town and our community. Lord, I pray for our school kids and teachers as they go back this week. I pray that this is a very safe and special week for them as they start a new year. And then, Lord, I think it as a privilege to pray for our authorities, our leaders, for each of these in positions, Lord, that I believe you've put them in here tonight. And I pray that you would draw them to yourself, and also you give them wisdom in the decisions they're going to make, so that the things that happen here tonight are truly according to your plan and your desire. Father, we love you and thank you, and all these things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Here.
Sean Burdell.
Here.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Here.
Rob Heatherly.
Here.
Bruce Jones.
Here.
Jim Olive.
Here.
Mark Voda.
Here.
Earl Walters.
Here. All 8 aldermen present. First thing we have is a motion to utilize the omnibus vote.
Second.
For approval of the minutes of the previous meetings listed on tonight's agenda under the title Omnibus Vote Designation. Motion by Alderman Dorchenez, second by Alderman Jones. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Okay, the minutes we'll be approving will be the minutes of the regular meeting held August 1st, 2016. Minutes of the Emergency Services Committee meeting held August 4th, 2016. Minutes of the Personnel Committee meeting held August 4th, 2016. Minutes of the Lake Airport Committee meeting held August 11th, 2016. And minutes of the Water Environmental Committee meeting held August 11th, 2016. I'd entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved, Your Honor.
Walters,
Second.
second by Alderman Heatherly. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Motion passes 8-0. Okay, we have an ordinance amending 6-4-3-1 of the city code, just regarding parking on East Adams Street.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, speak to the issue if there's any questions from my fellow aldermen.
Alderman Walters, can I get a second?
Second.
Alderman Olive. Go ahead, Alderman Walters, if you need to make a comment.
You gentlemen, I hope have looked at this down there. This is at the intersection of Wyandotte and East Adams, up to the further railroad track goes across at that intersection. And there's houses there that have just a single driveway and single car garage, and they need the additional parking on the street out there. And also this will help the police department as far as any violations down there.
Anyone else? Roll call.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Okay, next we have an ordinance annexing certain territory to the city, this being the Waddington property, the senior villages, north and adjacent to 110 East Heights. Entertain a motion to annex that into the city.
So moved. I'll
Alderman
second
Voda,
that.
second by Alderman Walters. Discussion or comment? Go ahead,
I
comment.
would like to thank them for changing the parking lot plan to where it goes now to the west side. And thank all the aldermen for the support.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Mayor vote.
The mayor votes yes, 9-0.
Mayor, I'd like to thank you, I'd like to thank the council and our engineer Joe and the engineer for the other company for reconsidering this and taking care of that, and I really appreciate it very, very much.
You're welcome. I'm glad it was able to work out.
Thank you.
Lots of times it doesn't, so I'm glad it did.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll move on to a motion to approve the request of the Greater Taylorville Chamber of Commerce for a special event permit to hold a blood drive on August 19, 2016, from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., and to block off approximately 6 to 8 parking spaces on the south side of the square, on the north side of Martin Street.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor, speak to the issue if there's any questions.
Is that it? Olive, any questions on this?
Just a comment.
Alderman Voda.
I was looking at this and I'm gonna support this, but I'm just curious as to why, when we are so tight with parking on the square, especially in that area, why the chamber hasn't looked for one of the other area members to be able to utilize this, such as the Walmart parking lot, plenty of room, plenty of parking. I'm just throwing it out there that maybe next time they come to town, we could consider something like that rather than utilize the parking spaces that are on the square.
I can speak to that. The whole idea of the chamber doing it on the square, they want to try to draw people to the downtown square area. They figure this is another way that they can do this. It's a good central location. And the parking spaces are just utilized or tied up for maybe 3 to 4 hours. And so it's not that big of a thing as far as my take on it from looking at the parking spaces that we're going to use.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Jim Mullins.
Yes.
Martin Voda.
Yes?
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Next, we have a motion to distribute the IEPA funds in accordance with the agreements signed by the other parties to the settlement agreement. Entertain a motion.
I'll make that motion, Your Honor.
Voda? Second by, who was that? Bud? Comments?
I just want to thank the city attorney for pursuing this the way he did, being thrown in the middle of this mess. I did send a thank you to him by email. This was a long, drawn-out process and procedure, and I thank all the parties involved for being able to get this thing finalized.
I think it's, there's students in this town that were in junior high and have graduated now. Well, we've dealt with this,
Well, we can go back to what Mr. Walters told us and walking into this.
Well, for the benefit of the general public, that this agreement's been signed by all parties, Laker, CAM, and Miracle. What it does, it allows the city to recoup $13,732.35 that it paid to do the finish up work on this project. And the balance of the funds will be distributed as outlined in the agreement, and it is a full release and satisfaction for the process that we went through. So this is it.
Good. Any other questions? Alderman Jones?
Nothing short of a miracle, correct?
That's good. Oh, he did send his W-9 in?
Yes, he did.
Okay, we're good to go.
Alderman Dorchenez?
I would also like to tell Mr. Romano that this is an amazing job. And-
Thank you, sir.
Because it was a can of worms for a long time before you put the can on top.
Thank you.
Anyone else before we go? Alderman Walters?
I would recommend and encourage my fellow aldermen that in the future, we step away from any of the types of issues like this. Don't even come close to looking at these issues. I tried to forewarn you back then, as I mentioned earlier.
All right, roll call, please.
Martin Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Mullins.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Brings us to city attorney updates.
Two quick matters, gentlemen. We requested, and we just received today from the president of the Taylorville Development Association, Ken Hart. Let me just briefly, well, I'll read the letter, it's only two paragraphs. It says, "The Board of Directors of the Taylorville Development Association, Inc., and myself as president of the TDA would like to request an amendment to the 2006 City of Taylorville Illinois Comprehensive Plan, Chapter 3, Land Use C.3, as enclosed as Exhibit 1. The slight change in the comprehensive plan will allow the Taylorville Development Association to apply for a change in zoning on the land owned by TDA from commercial to I-1 industrial. Thank you, and the City of Taylorville, for the requested change, and if you have any comments or questions, they're contacting. And I'm going to ask the city clerk to make sure each of you get a copy of this, because it actually has the maps attached, what they're actually reflecting, and the verbiage that they're changing for the amendment of the comprehensive plan. I'll be bringing a proposed ordinance to the ordinance committee this Thursday for your consideration and approval to go on to the next step and see if we can get this project completed for them. Any questions about that? The only other matter is that the American Tower lease, Alderman Bud has reviewed it. I think he shared some of my same concerns. I think it's going to be, if not on the agenda, but I think it can be discussed at Thursday's meeting to get some direction for us to be as to which way you want me to go with this in response to American Tower. Whether or not we accept their amendments or make put changes, or just say, forget it, 1 or 2, 1 or 3. So, any questions about that? Okay. I'll be at the ordinance committee, and I think, there's another thing I was gonna talk about, in this new marijuana law. I might suggest that the police chief was asking me before the meeting, and I think another community I represent, we're thinking about doing it as well, is making it an ordinance violation, so that, hopefully some of the fine money will be coming directly to us, perhaps over the counter, as opposed to going to the state, but the opportunity perhaps, we'll look into that, and I would suggest that we first. Any question?
Alderman Vogt?
Just a question, if you're finished with that.
Yes.
Okay. Are we gonna touch on the Wanaco issue as we heard from the attorneys? We'll need details, just have you heard back from them?
I have not heard back. As everyone knows, or, at last Thursday's committee level, there were certain officials here from Wanaco that expressed some concerns and disagreements with the language that was in the document. I thought they were gonna go back and ask their attorneys to contact me. I've not heard anything from them. So I guess the next step is I'll try to contact them and see where we're at, but I've got no feedback yet. But we'll stay on top of it.
Any other questions for the city attorney? All right. Moving on to mayor updates, just got two quick things. Fall's coming soon, and that means Chili Fest will be here before we know it. Alderman Walters is working closely with Patty Hornbuck on the chamber to get prepared for the event, and I want to acknowledge him publicly for the effort he's putting into that. Now, we've had Earl prepare maps for us, drawings and stuff like that. You ought to see the map he's got laid out for Chili Fest. I mean, it's a, what, 3x3 or something like that, and it's got a 2 scale, I mean, drawn 2 scale, so it'll be a wonderful benefit for them as far as helping them plan on locating things, and I certainly appreciate the work he's done for that. And then, of course, it also helps Carol Alexander as she gets ready for her Christmas home tour, and those ladies love it. Okay, at Thursday night's committee meeting, and it's going to be a long one, so you better bring a pillow or something. But at the ordinance committee, we're going to wrestle with the video gaming issue once again, so that'll take some time. And then the finance committee, I want to at least begin the conversation on the salaries for the position of mayor, city clerk, and city treasurer. I think Alderman Bud's got that on his agenda, so we can do that. Additionally, I'd like to have at least a small discussion regarding the pros and cons of having a city manager. I copied you guys all on an article on that, and I think there's a lot of pros to it that at least we need to look at. And that's all I'm asking, is that we approach it with an open mind and take a good look at it. That's all I've got. Let's move on to the committee reports. Discussions on our motions to approve, adopt, and or deny, and or table, and or amend, and or refer to an appropriate committee in whole or in part the matters regarding the following subject matters discussed at committee level. Start out with personnel committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We had one motion coming out of our personnel committee meeting. Motion to direct Mayor Brotherton to send a letter to the Board of Fire and Police Commission to hire one replacement firefighter. I'll offer that as a motion and have comments.
Second, Alderman Bertle, letter to comment.
As I did at committee level, I will vote in opposition to this tonight. Not because I'm really opposed to staffing the fire department, it's just that I think that we need to forego any of these replacements and new hires until we have some answers on the city's finances. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes.
Alderman Vogt.
Agree with Mr. Everman's statement.
Roll call, please.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
No.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
No.
Motion passes 6-2. Moving on to emergency services.
Mr. Mayor, first motion came out of that committee meeting was a motion to allow Assistant Fire Chief Goodall to have the 2011 KME Rescue Pumper Fire Truck Repair by Piercy Auto Body Incorporated at a cost of $12,034.42, with the city being responsible for a $1,000 deductible and the city insurance carrier Travelers paying the remainder. I'd like to make that as a form of motion.
Okay, a second on that. Alderman Bud, discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Bertle.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Martin Boda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-2.
Next motion was to allow Assistant Fire Chief Goodall to have Motorola radios reprogrammed by Wireless USA at a cost of $7,442 and 80 cents. I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Okay, a second on that?
Second.
Everly, discussion or comment? Roll call, please.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The next motion was to allow 2 firefighters to attend academy at a cost not to exceed $14,000 upon approval from the personnel committee to hire a replacement firefighter, which we did in a previous committee meeting motion, so I'd like to make that in form of a motion.
Okay, a second on that?
Second.
Bud, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
No.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Well, considering we're hiring the second firefighter, I'll have to go with yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-1.
And the last motion, I don't believe we need to go through with it since the one we just did includes both the Nicholas Upham and the new fireman. Guess that.
No action. All right, moving on to the Lake Airport Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. We have several motions, so I'll try to go through these fairly quickly. First was a motion to approve the request and issue of special events permits for Mid-America Sport Parachute Club's Old Timers Boogie to be held Friday, August 19th through Sunday, August 21st on the airport property and adjacent 7/10 acre owned by MASPC. I'd like to place that in form of a motion.
A second on that?
Second, Sean.
Walter, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
Second item was a motion to approve the gold level of support for the annual service agreement for the airport fueling terminal at a cost of $995 with QT Pod. I'll place that in form of a motion.
Second on that?
Second.
Alderman Holland, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The next motion was to allow Airport Manager Newberry to seek bids to lease 120.7 acres, more or less, of farmland located at the Taylorville Municipal Airport for the 2017 through 2021 crop years, and that will be a 5-year lease term. Place that in the form of a motion.
Okay, a second on that?
Second.
Bud? Discussion or comment?
Just a quick comment. I
Yes.
think that would be a cash rent lease. Is that what you folks are thinking about, the crop share?
Yeah.
I think all this was.
Yes, it was.
You might want to just add that to the motion.
Sure, consider that.
It's been amended accordingly.
Okay. Any other questions? Roll call, please.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The next motion was to allow Airport Manager Newberry to seek bids to lease 3 parcels of land, approximately 15.6 acres, 1.4 acres, and 2.8 acres located at the Taylorville Municipal Airport for a hay crop only for the 2017 through 2021 crop years, a 5-year lease term at cash rent. So make that in form of a motion.
Okay.
Second, Sean.
Second, Alderman Walters. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherly.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The next motion was to allow waterfowl hunting for deer only with shotgun on Lake Taylorville for the 2016-2017 season. The same rules as last year, and deer hunting bow only at Lake Taylorville for the 2016 season, except for October 8th through October 10th due to the youth hunting at the north end of the lake. With the same rules as last year, contingent upon the receipt of all necessary required documents. I'll make that in the
Second.
form of a motion.
Alderman Jones, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
The next motion is to allow youth hunting deer only with shotgun at Lake Taylorville on October 8th through October 10th, with the same rules as last year, contingent upon the receipt of all necessary and required documents. Place that in the form of a motion.
Second,
Second, Sean.
Alderman Walters, discussion or comment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes.
The next motion was to allow Lake Superintendent Jackson to seek bids for the 6.997 acres, 4.5 are tillable near Lake Taylorville for the 2017 to 2026 crop year, which is a 10-year lease term. However, upon a prior 180-day notice to the landlord, the tenant may earlier terminate this lease on February 28th of any lease term year in the event the tenant does not have access to the leased premises, and that will be a cash rent also. Is that home?
Any discussion on that?
Second, Your Honor.
Walters, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherly?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The next motion, Your Honor, is to allow Lake Superintendent Jackson to seek bids for the 4 parcels of Lake Taylorville farmland totaling 27.02 acres for the 2017 through 2021 crop years. Those will be a 5-year term lease, and that will also be a cash rent. Place that in form of motion.
The second on that?
Second.
Alderman Holland, discussion or comment?
Just quick comment, gentlemen. As we discussed at the ordinance committee, at the committee level, when these bids are returned and should you decide to accept those, we're gonna do this all in one ordinance to make it simple.
Any comments? Roll call, please.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherly?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
The final motion to come out of the meeting was a motion to allow Superintendent Jackson to draw up specifications and seek bids for a skid steer with planer and forestry head with a purchase or lease purchase option. Make that in the form of a motion with a comment.
Okay, get a second?
Second, Your Honor.
Alderman Walters, go to the comment, Alderman Voda.
There was some good discussion about this at committee level regarding the cost associated with this, and that just to go out for bid doesn't mean that we will pursue purchase. It will give us, if nothing else, it will give us budgetary estimate numbers to go with for the next year or so. It should come in well, and everybody's in agreement we make the purchase, but this time there's not a purchase that's being made. And until we know for sure where the city finances are, I'm uncomfortable with approving a purchase of this, but we see no problems going out and at least getting bids. Thank you.
Quick comment.
Go ahead.
If you could change the motion to say and/or, I thought the intent of the committee was that you were asking each of the bidders to submit both options to you folks to look at, a lease/purchase or an outright purchase. So you just say and/or.
I think that's what I said.
Alderman Bertle.
Or.
I'd like to piggyback on those comments about the finances that we're struggling with, trying to figure out where those finances are. And if we have overspent, or if in the future we're gonna have less cash on hand. Plus, I think we keep forgetting that we're $142,000 in debt further on the health insurance issue that we had. So I think, if this is a purchase that can wait, I can't imagine this thing's gonna be very inexpensive. I think it's gonna be a very expensive piece of equipment. So if this is definitely in the want side of the category versus a need, this is definitely be something that, although I'll support it tonight, I'm not sure I can support it future.
Anyone else? All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Against? Motion passes. Moving on to Water Environmental Committee.
Thank you, Your Honor. The first motion coming out of the committee meeting was to direct City Attorney Romano to prepare a form letter to send to city water customers who previously signed an annexation agreement that is now expired or will soon expire, requesting the signing of the new 20-year annexation agreement. Make that form of a motion.
Okay, get a second on that? Second. Alderman Bud, discussion or comment? Roll call.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherly?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0.
Last motion is to allow Superintendent Spiegel to purchase an Aurora pump, new motor coupling, and base plate from Van Vanner with an installation for the piping modifications from Van Vanner at a cost not to exceed $14,059. I'll make that in the form of a motion.
I'll second it.
Second by Alderman Voda. Discussion or comment? Roll call.
Sean Bertle?
Yes.
Bernie Dorchenez?
Yes.
Rob Heatherly?
Yes.
Bruce Jones?
Yes.
Jim Oliver?
Yes.
Martin Voda?
Yes.
Earl Walters?
Yes.
Larry Bud?
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Finally, we have a motion to approve and ratify payment of bills in the amount of $397,040.19.
Make that one motion, John.
Okay. For a second?
Second.
Alderman Bertle, what is your comment?
KMRN for building liability and pollution, $42,313. Electric, $19,167.64. Fuel, $14,208.18. Telephone, $1,242.54. Garbage, $3,183.34. Office supplies, $1,528.91. Ace, Big R, and Urban. Miscellaneous, $2,041.04. Napa, O'Reilly, and AutoZone. Miscellaneous, $1,108.41. Computer Tech, $2,476.06. Senior Citizen Center, $5,000. Taylorville Chamber for Chili Fest, $3,000. Larry Berry Real Estate Tax, 4 or 5 years, $2,806.70. Meyer, Austin, and Romano for ordinance violations, $3,614. Lowenball Law for labor fees, $1,095. Larry Service Center, $1,880.39. Altorfer, $6,832. Phil Tullis, $8,667.20. Green and Bradford, $23,517.86. Salone Equipment for repairs on equipment and parts, $1,402. Martin Equipment for maintenance on equipment, $3,269.23. Unique Temporary Help, $3,729.84. Illinois Department of Revenue for fuel sales tax, $1,409. Fire and Police Commission for testing, $5,096. Street Department, Drake Scruggs Equipment for cylinder repairs, $4,137.77. Water Department, Benton and Associates, $79,063.50. Chemicals, $8,810.63. United States Post Office for postage, $1,000. IMCO for retainers for Main Cross, $1,310. HD Supply for East Main Cross materials, $4,601.60. Systemax Corp. for water bills, $1,415.14. First Electric Motor Shop for repair on a motor, $1,059. Lewis Marsh, $1,689. Midwest Meter for supplies, $2,028.12. Airport Aero Energy for Jet A fuel, $13,482.71. John Merkel, $73,157.52. Larry Laker, $23,034.37. Cemetery, City of Taylorville, 15% of lot sales, $6,420. Lake, Napomas Quarry, $2,773.71 for a total of $382,157.41.
Thank you. Alderman Deloach.
Just comments, the amount for the airport, it was for John Miracle and for Mr. Laker, were associated with the underground storage tank settlement. And then the $13,482.71 for the Aero Energy for the fuel. That's a genuine indication that we do business at the airport.
And those funds paid in Miracle Laker came from IEPA.
Yes, that's correct. Thank you.
Anyone else? Roll call, please.
Corey Dorchenez.
Yes.
Rob Heatherling.
Yes.
Bruce Jones.
Yes.
Jim Olive.
Yes.
Mark Voda.
Yes.
Earl Walters.
Yes.
Larry Bud.
Yes.
Sean Burdell.
Yes.
Motion passes 8-0. Okay, per subparagraph G of 5 ILCS 120/2.06, this portion of the city council meeting is reserved for any person wishing to address the council on any relevant subject matters concerning the city. Anyone out there like to address the council? Seeing no one, I'm going to take Alderman Walters.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. I'd like to ask all of my fellow aldermen to please go by the high school and look at the new track. And I'm happy to say that I'm pleased with what some small part that I played in getting that facility ready. It is state-of-the-art, gentlemen. We'll now be able to have home track meets. We'll have senior night there now. So it's a really fantastic venue. So please look at it and let the school know what you think of it. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Alderman Dorchenez, you have a comment?
Well, I thought it was interesting in City Hall last week, and you know, we've had the increases of water rates and sewer rates and things, and somebody's taken it upon themselves to figure out how to solve their problem with these rates. We had a counterfeit county last week. I've never seen a counterfeit bill before in my life, and it was the clerk Kirsten caught it. It was too late, right? Brittany caught it. Sorry. It was a little bit too late, but the bill was bigger than a regular 20. And on the front where there's a couple of emblems that are shiny gold. They were not. And there was a number missing underneath there's a serial number on the front there's a number underneath it which would easily be typed in, they did do that. But it, I mean, it looked, I don't say how anybody would have ever caught it, but I think it was because it was a little bit bigger bill, larger in size, physically sized, that she caught it. And, so I've never heard of that ever happening here, all the 20 years that I've been on the council, 20, or any kind of counterfeit bill has come here. And so they're out there.
Anyone else? Alderman Bud.
I would just like to upfront thank the police department for the patrols at the schools coming this week. As everyone knows, I live in front of one of the schools and I know what it's like for the traffic around there, and they do an awesome job of going around and patrolling north and the junior high and central. They do a good job.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, with no additional items on the agenda, I would entertain a motion to adjourn this meeting.
So